What effect is this shutdown going to have on business and industry?
Yeah, Laura, it's going to be a tough time for businesses over this shutdown. 5 days, we hope that we can come out of those 5 days and return to business as usual and life as usual as soon as possible. And no doubt about that. And the accommodation, the hospitality sectors, the tourism sector, the arts sector, they're all going to be impacted quite significantly. I was talking to one small business yesterday afternoon. They employ a handful of people. Their revenue loss will be around $11,000 over the course of this week, and that's not an insignificant amount of money. So it's going to be tough for businesses to manage this lockdown, but we've said it's proportionate, and we need to understand, as has been said by the AMA, that WA has operated with a lot of freedom in the past few months, and so the observance of social distancing, etc., has been pretty minimal. And so it is proportionate, and we are concerned, obviously, with the variant that's involved. While we're not public health experts, we want to make sure that this community and this economy can continue to operate as at higher level as possible.
Well, life has been pretty much as normal, except for the borders being shut for much of that time. Can you give us an idea how many of these businesses have relied on JobKeeper over the last 10 months or so? And is that just purely because the domestic borders are closed?
It's been a reduced number, obviously, and the WA economy has been buoyed by really high iron ore prices, as well as the fiscal stimulus and some state government stimulus. And as a result, we have an unemployment rate of 6.2% at the moment. So that's been a very significant performance from the Western Australian economy. There have been sectors such as the tourism sector that have certainly found challenges, and increasingly we've got other sectors that face all types of challenges, whether it's supply chain challenges as a result of the border, or even really significant skill shortages we haven't seen since 2012, since that very significant mining infrastructure boom. So this will be an interesting 5 days, and those small businesses will be particularly impacted. It's harder for them to wear the costs of this shutdown.
Look, it's interesting to see, particularly in an election period there in Western Australia, what is going to happen. Small businesses are particularly vulnerable. Chris, you know that. We also know that JobKeeper is going to end at the end of March. We heard the Assistant Treasurer, Michael Sukkar, tell this program just a short time ago that there will be targeted assistance for certain industries. What should that look like? And is there an argument that the states might need now to pay for that, given they're the ones shutting the borders?
Well, we certainly are concerned about some sectors, and we've mentioned the hospitality tourism sector for one. They have been impacted, particularly that loss of international visitors and interstate visitors who tend to frequent those attractions, and those tourism attractions have been particularly hard hit. The East Kimberley, right up in the north of our state, has found the going very tough. I think this is an open conversation about what needs to be done at both a federal and a state level, and as we move into the election here in WA, it's certainly something that will need to be canvassed with the major political parties.
So any ideas, because it is hard to target sectors with some kind of JobKeeper, it's hard to do geographically, perhaps some kind of grant scheme, would that be the best to be run by the state government there?
I think what we need to look at is also big ticket reforms. We have one of the highest payroll tax rates in the nation when it comes to those smaller businesses as well. Anything we can do to alleviate that cost, looking at regulatory burdens as well, that's going to be very important, as well as that targeted assistance. And yes, perhaps it is grants. There has been some use of those at a state government level, and potentially there's options there for the federal government. I think we just need to understand that this is a bit of a moving feast, and so our responses need to reflect the business conditions as they change over time. But one thing is for certain, there's a way to go on this, and right now we're really focused on this particular lockdown and helping our members and the broader WA business community deal with the impacts of this lockdown. And I'd say to any of our members out there, please give us a call if you're finding it difficult to understand what the issues are and the implications for your business are. Then it's really critical that you know